All right, girlies, this is going to be your crash course in UFC scoring. I know it seems complicated. It's not, I promise. I have another guide on my channel that goes over how knockouts and submissions works. Those are ways that you can end a fight before it goes to decision. In this, we're talking about when a fight goes to decision. That means it goes all 3 or 5 rounds. Nobody got knocked out and nobody got submitted. If you don't win a fight via a finish, a knockout, a technical knockout, or a submission, then you need to fight all 3 or 5 rounds. Then a team of judges decide who did a better job. Like low-key, it's always better to try to win via a knockout or a submission because sometimes you don't like the judges scoring. You have a panel of judges and they assign a number to you for each round that you fought. If you got a 10, that means you did really, really good. You won. If you got a 9, you lost the round. And if you got an 8, you lost the round really, really bad. Technically, it's in the rule set that you could get a 7, but that is so rare. There are a few different things that judges keep in mind when they decide who wins a round, and we're going to go from most important to least important. The most important is effective striking and grappling. Can you hit the other person good, and do you get more dominant positions on the other person when you're on the ground? There's aggression, which means do you bully the other person more than they bully you? And ring control, which is basically like, do you control where the fight goes, or are you just kind of like backing up and following around wherever your opponent goes? Effective striking and grappling is the most important. Once the fight ends, they tally up all their scores, and the fighters with the most points wins the fight. For example, let's look at this first judge here. They scored round 1 for red, round 2 for blue, and round 3 for red. Red has more points. Look, all 3 of these judges here did decide that red won 2 out of the 3 rounds. Therefore, red win. Really, all this means is that when you're watching at the end of every round, you ask yourself, who do I think won that round? If one person wins round 1 and the other person wins round 2, someone has to win round 3 in order to win the fight. If you think that one person had the first 2 rounds go to them, the other guy has to get a knockout or a submission in order to win the fights, because it is impossible to win on points alone unless they get a 10-8 round, and even then it's like a draw. There are a few different types of decisions. If all the judges agree, it is a unanimous decision. If the judges don't agree, it is a split decision. Very rarely fighters do have the same score and it's a tie. For example, if there's 2 10-9 rounds and then the other person gets a 10-8 round. And then sometimes there is a no contest, which means that a fighter can't finish the fight due to an injury from an illegal strike, like you got poked in the eye or you got kicked in the crotch or something. Now, a lot of times people don't really like the judges because you might have a fighter that you think won and then the judges disagree with you and it's kind of like, controversial decision. And there are times that people think that a promotion may favor one fighter or the other if it does go to decision. So if you're a fighter, ideally you want to end the fight before decision. So let me know if you have any questions.